Support from the show comes from Gameplayware. Gameplayware has a wide variety of nerdy and geek-related apparel. Go to www.gameplaydwear.bigcartel.com and use the promo code theb&btavern to get free shipping on clothes. Want cool dice sets and other tabletop accessories at a low price? Head on over to darksilverforge.com and use the promo code theb&btavern to get 15% off your purchase. And support from listeners like you. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Baylor Bands and welcome to the B&B Tavern Show, Tavern Talk, where we take extraordinary people of extraordinary measures and have them create imaginary friends with numbers and stat sheets. It's your friendly neighborhood storyteller, and with me I have an amazing guest of true amazingness. I can't stop saying the word amazing because he's in my presence. I'm gonna let him introduce himself so I can stop saying the word.
Wow. Hello. I'm happy to be a part of the tavern today. Hi, my name is Matt Conn, and I'm the CEO and founder of Midboss. And if you don't know what Midboss does, we do a couple different things. We have a game called 2064 Read-Only Memories. We also have a convention that we run called GamerX. And we do a bunch of really fun, interesting stuff in the gaming industry. And we try to make the gaming world a better place for queer gamers, but also try to do it in a fun, interesting, and unique way.
It is a beautiful endeavor, and we got Matt on the show. Thank you so much for coming, Matt.
Of course. Wow. I've heard that the B&B Tavern is where all the energy's at, and I can tell that you got the energy.
It's exciting because we have you. That's why I'm excited. Oh my gosh. So we have so much to talk about, and I'm excited to learn how your imagination works. It's just a million things. Now, of course, Read Only Memories, very popular game, very beautiful. Get it now on PS4 because that's what I have, and supports, or Steam, on your choice. And you do a lot of amazing. Is there like any new projects you want to talk about, or is there any new amazing things that you have coming too?
Yeah, well, right now we have 3 games in the pipeline.
What?
And yeah. So we're getting super busy over here at Midboss. Nothing I can officially announce, but
NDA.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure that everything, before I announce it, I'm going to make sure all the pieces are in place. But
of course.
We are just finishing up with 2064 stuff. We're releasing in Japan in a couple months with a fully localized Japanese version. We're releasing on Xbox One next month. We're starting the Vita and additional ports now. So
spreading like wildfire.
Yeah. So we're getting the game out there, but I think that the creative side of that's sort of done. And so now we're starting to look at what's next for Midboss. So a couple different.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A couple different projects, but we also just launched the Kickstarter for GamerX East. In New York City, and that's going to be November 4th and 5th. It's going to be our second year in New York City, and it's going to be in Times Square, and it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, we had later on last year we had Austin Walker and Danielle from Vice, and people from around the industry, and we had about 1,000 folks, and it was just fun, cool, interesting, weird time.
Now, do you want to explain what the convention is? Because every convention is special and unique, but what is it that makes it special and unique for y'all? Well, apart from being in Times Square.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, with GamerX, we started it because we wanted to make a place where gamers who were gay or queer could come and just kind of feel like they could be extra at home and not have to worry about having to hide certain parts of their personality. And I think that for a lot of people who come, they feel like when they go to U3 or some of the bigger industry events, it's definitely it has a certain vibe that for some of them they don't necessarily feel super comfortable, or even if they do feel comfortable, a lot of conventions don't really go into a lot of like deeper level conversations and discussions about queer topics. Like it's usually like you'll be lucky if a PAX has like what introduction to queer gaming or whatever. But at GamerX, we really kind of dive into some weird, interesting topics. Like at one of our conventions, we had a debate about if Bayonetta was a positive or negative character, and so we had a person on the positive side, we had a person on the negative side, and then we had someone who was just like, oh, she's just like an amazing drag queen. And it was just kind of this fascinating kind of conversation about like the positives and negatives of the Bayonetta character, and I just kind of feel like that's the kind of stuff that wouldn't necessarily get that deep dive at most other conventions. So ultimately though, it's a gaming convention at its heart first and foremost. It's a place for gamers of all kinds, and I think that since starting it, although it was originally kind of started as like a specifically queer and gay gaming event, we've become much less of that specifically and more of just like a really rad gaming event where people can kind of come as they are and just kind of live freely, and I think we can kind of move away from a little bit of the toxicity of some of the more mainstream kind of gaming kind of vibe.
That sounds beautiful. All different kinds of demographics. I need to get there now. When's the next one?
Wow. Yeah, we should definitely come. It's a super fun time. Tickets are on sale right now on the Kickstarter. They're only $30, and it's pretty cool.
That's only $10,000 less than other conventions.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is that because Microsoft is donating the space to us, the venue cost is significantly cheaper than most of our other venues that we've done our events at, so we can keep the ticket price pretty low.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, points for Microsoft for that. Points for them for that. Nicely done.
Yeah. No, I mean, ultimately, I don't usually shill for companies, and I'm a PS4 boy, but GamerX East wouldn't exist without them donating that space. So that's pretty cool for them.
Well, much love to them. And speaking of donating, Matt's here to donate his imagination to create a D&D character, 5th edition.
Yay!
Now, is this your first 5th edition D&D experience, or have you had a couple in the past?
Yeah, no, I did. I played AD&D, back in the day. So that's 2.5. Yeah, and I think I did a campaign once in 4, but I've never. 5 is new.
We're about to go into some slightly unknown territory for you then.
All right.
Well then, if in that case, are you ready to go, Matt?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. All right. Well, starting off, not to sound like a Pokemon professor, but are you a boy, girl, or other?
Let's go the boy.
The boy. All right. Now, to decide on what race you are. Now, I'm going to run down the list like an auctioneer. Some of them you may recognize, some of them you may not. If you don't recognize something, but the name sounds pretty awesome, happy to explain as much as I can. Ready to go?
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You could be an Arakakra, Ozimar, Bugbear, Dragonborn, Dwarf, Elf, Furbolg, Genocide, Gnome, Goblin, Goliath, Half-Elf, Half-Orc, Halfling, Hobgoblin, Human, Kenku, Kobold, Lizardfolk, Orc, Tabaxi, Tiefling, Triton, or Yuan-Ti.
Wow, most of those I do have no idea what they are.
Well, they're all sort of slightly new. Nothing held against. There's tons of new concept and ideas from good old Wizards of the Coast. Well,
the lizard folk sounds pretty cool.
Lizard folks, they're kind of like chameleon-like.
Yeah.
Very,
are they...
very, very scaly.
Yeah, scaly's cool. I mean, are they what are their traits in terms of personality traits?
They tend to sort of mingle within their own race. They're not very sociable. They're more tribal than other races, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That sounds cool. I mean, are they like big? Are they like skinny, scaly guys, or are they like more like kind of bigger?
They're more skinny, scaly guys. They're more suited to the more lizard-like appearance of things, where they are very like very. They're very bony. They're definitely very bony. However, some of them are a little bit more muscular, if you will. Because some of them may be like paladins, holy warriors, stuff like that.
Sure, sure, sure. Cool. Well, yeah. Let's do lizard folk. That sounds
Lizard
fun.
folk it is. All right.
Yeah.
Cool as a cold-blooded reptilian. All right. Well, how old is your lizard folk?
Well, what are the age ranges? I mean, are lizard folk, are they like elves where they live for like 300 years, or are they?
They tend to be more like humans, but live a little bit longer.
Okay, okay. Well, let's do 30.
30. 30 is a good age. Got a lot of a lot of life experience, but still young to go out on adventuring.
Right.
And how tall are they?
Let's go 7 feet.
7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Good golly, you are the tallest one.
Big old lizard boy.
Big old lizard boy. He's definitely taller than me. Are you close to that height? Are you like 6'5" or?
No, I'm 5'10", 5'9".
You're taller than me though. That's still amazing tall.
I'm no giant. I'm no. Yeah.
You're no tall lizard boy.
No tall lizard boy.
All right, fair enough. And now, is your lizard sort of more bony and elegant, or just more muscular? Got a little more lizard meat in the muscles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit muscular, not like crazy buff, but I'm kind of thinking like, I don't know if you ever played Soul Calibur 2 or Future. Like they had the guy called Lizard Man, I think, or Lizard Dude.
Lizard.
I think it was Lizard Man.
I know Soul Calibur, but I haven't seen it in a long while.
Let's see, type in Lizard Man. That was a mistake. Let's see, Soul.
Probably get something from like DC or Marvel.
It was actually, the first thing was like a guy who was like all tattooed up to look like a lizard.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, no, he's called Lizard Man. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I look like him, but I would say kind of like that body type. If you look it up, it's sort of that body type where it's like kind of like muscular shoulders, but still like relatively. Let me see if I can send you this picture.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh yeah, sure. That's fair. That's like a raptor.
Yeah, but it's like an anthropomorphic raptor, sorta.
Yeah, he's got quite the smile.
Yeah, he's a smiling boy. He's a smiling raptor boy. He's a happy. Feels good about his life.
He's very one with himself. He's very accepting of himself.
Yeah.
It's got good self-confidence. Now, what alignment if he's a smiling raptor boy? Lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, neutral good, true neutral, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't say lawful. I'm gonna probably go with neutral good.
Neutral good.
I feel like that seems like that would make the most sense in terms of like, in general he doesn't want to cause harm to the world, but he has no interest in necessarily following the rules either. They're arbitrary.
It's very, very, very nomad-like.
Yeah.
Just one.
I feel like this is just like a big psychology session. I'm just
is.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that, Matt?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm just basically. I mean, that is how I feel. I'm just like. I feel like there's a lot of freedom once you kind of like realize that. Because I mean, I was just in Japan, and Japan is like a culture of like. They follow the laws like super hardcore, right? Like if it's legal, then it's good, and if it's illegal, it's bad. That can be really trapping, especially like when there's some very bad laws that they have, and some very things that should be illegal that are not. And I think that like there's definitely a mistake when you follow like laws as if and go like, well, because something's illegal, it's bad, or yeah.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a different animal, and like people are raised to like, so it must be people are raised to believe in these things, so it must be interesting from like an outsider's perspective that like these are like, whoa, like, you know, in my country, you know, this would never happen, or like, you know, we would absolutely do this. This is fine. We would have done this as kids, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was just interesting. Like, I was hanging out with some people, and like, this guy, like, it's hard to explain, but this guy was basically explaining like that his, you know, like we were doing something that I would say was like borderline illegal, and he was like, but it's something that's legal in America, and his wife was very like concerned about it, and he was like, well, you know, like that's kind of like the way the Japanese people are, is like if it's against the law in any way, like, you know, people don't want anything to do with it. Like, you know, you just follow the rules no matter what, even if it's, you know, maybe potentially morally objectionable. And you know, it's just kind of, and he's like, and you know, he's Japanese, and he's like, I think that's one of the weaknesses of, you know, of our culture, is that like people can't seem to break out of that and think independently of that at times.
Yeah. I definitely, you know, it's definitely some of them are like, you know, there's always going to be very imaginative folks there as well. You know.
For sure.
Yeah. I remember back then my dad would tell me like how he was, you know, what it was like to be an English teacher in Japan. And, you know, like one of the English assignments, well, they'll always ask their like students is like, what is your angle? What is such a rich luxury that you would want? And, you know, they would say like, oh, you know, a nice house, you know. And it's just, I guess it's sometimes hard when you're taught about like, you know, obey this law and don't break this law, you know, and, you know, it's very hard to sort of think outside the box, because sometimes thinking outside the box may lead you to go like, oh God, that would be illegal, kind of thing, and they don't want to, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that even like a good example is, I mean, like, I think moving away from legality is just like, you know, like, you know, obviously Japan is like the motherland of video games, but over the last 5-10 years, if you think about where the indie scene is, it's not from Japan. Almost all the indie games are coming from America.
Sure.
and you know, and from other places. And a lot of that is because, you know, doing indie is like breaking off on your own and like going against the grain, and in Japanese culture that's very like frowned upon, is, you know, like striking out on your own. And so only in the last couple of years has there been like the kind of this growing new indie scene that's starting to grow in Japan, and a lot of it is like people kind of coming in from outside and showing people that this is a viable thing and you can do this, and showing people where the support structures are. And I think that whole kind of idea of like you have to stay in your lane, while there's like, I think there's a million, like, you know, going to Japan is beautiful and there's like almost no crime and everything works, and it's like there's a lot of benefits to it. It also can hold back, like, you know, indie games should also be like really thriving in Japan, and yet they're just barely starting now, I feel like.
It is, well, I mean, maybe they're starting to not evolve or level up. They're just sort of like, they're slowly transforming into this more like open-minded butterfly, and, you know, that's awesome as well. Like, because like also major companies like Nintendo has sort of been going against the grain of what they traditionally are, like Breath of the Wild. You know, that's totally against what they've done with all their rulings of Legend of Zelda and whatnot. Sure, there's like the classic like stamina bar and whatnot, and, you know, different similar mechanics, but like the fact that it's open world and you can just visit the boss right away, and the fact that they're also doing app versions of their game is just very, it's very like not unbecoming of them, but just very like unexpected. So
yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad. I think that like it's super fascinating, and it's something that I think we could talk about all day if we wanted to.
we could, but oh yeah, before we move on, what is in your hand?
It is a broken luggage holder, because I just got back from Japan 2 days ago, and the luggage I had broke while I was there.
Oh no!
And it's fine. I don't care. I mean, I'll get new luggage, but it just was really sucky because I was like trying to carry around this giant broken luggage, and it made walking around Japan painful times. I mean, because you've seen the videos and stuff. Like, the trains are so packed and stuff. Like, trying to like carry around this giant suitcase that I can't even like hold properly is really like embarrassing on like a giant packed train. And everyone's like, look at this fucking, you know, American, like. You know what I mean? Like, struggling with his luggage, and they're, you know, and I'm like, and taking up all this space, and they're just like, And you know what I mean? I can like feel it, and I'm just like,
Oh, so embarrassed.
yeah, gomenasai.
Oh, what does that mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
It's good to know. I'll remember that for future. I like to say I'm sorry in different languages, just to make sure I'm in good
Yeah,
terms
you know,
with people.
the really all you need to know for Japan is just sumimasen and domo. Sumimasen is like excuse me / like pardon me / like hey, you know, it's like sort of like a just like a kind of catch-all. So sumimasen is really really good, and domo is like thanks.
Domo's thanks. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well yeah, domo arigato,
And
Mr. Roboto.
And dozo is really good too. Dozo is like after you or please. Like you like, you know what I mean? We're like, oh no, dozo, like please go ahead. You know what I mean? So like if someone's trying to get on the train and you like catch eyes, you can be like, oh dozo, like, you know, like please go first.
And they would say domo?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And also just, you know, there's domo and there's arigato, and you generally don't say like arigato. Like arigato means like thank you so much.
Oh, that's like a different level of thank you.
Yeah, and so usually arigato is like meant for like when you go to a store or a place.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to like thank you. Like you would respond with domo or say nothing at all. But they say arigato. Like arigato is like a very deep, like, it's like, you know, oh thank you so much.
Thank you for buying the things that will put food in our belly.
Yeah, but it has like more of like oh, it was an honor to serve you kind of like vibe.
Oh.
Yeah, as opposed to like domo, which is more of just kind of like a thanks. Like,
Yeah, thanks, man.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. Cool. You learn something new every day. I didn't know there was like different tiers of thank yous. That's beautiful.
There's a really, really amazing series you can watch called Japaneasy, just Japan Easy, and it's, you know, but it's all one word, Japaneasy, and it is really, really cool. It's made by the NHK people, and it's just, yeah, and it's got a cute little robot that teaches you Japanese.
Oh my gosh, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I've been going in a totally different direction. So like, I go to college for sign language interpretation, and I decided
I can see by your shirt that you.
Oh yeah. For those who at home who can't see, which is everybody, I am wearing I'm wearing an alphabet shirt of all the sign languages, and it's interesting to learn Japanese sign language because there's like 100 letters, as in the Japanese sign language alphabet.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's also just interesting to see what they choose for movements of signs.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that, because I mean there's thousands of kanji, and then there's like 50 katakana and hiragana or something.
Yeah, right? So like you got like the English looking more letters, and then you have the characters, and then you have a different set of characters. And it's just like all over the place, and I'm like, golly, you know, you can easily be bilingual if you like grow up with that, you know, because you got to remember all those, and it's just interesting for like, I don't know. I think my favorite thing that I've learned from them was just like friend. Friend is very interesting. Friend is just sort of like you clasp your hands together and just go around in circles. Friend's just here. It's interesting. It's all interesting. Beautiful language. Go look Japanesey. It's really easy to look up. Yeah. Now, speaking of easy, there's an easier list, a lot smaller list, which is your class. We gotta decide your class, of course. So you could be a warlock, a barbarian, a bard, a cleric, druid, a fighter, a monk, a paladin, a ranger, a rogue, or sorcerer, or wizard.
Let's be a rogue.
Rogue, good old rogue. Oh, you gotta get more sausage bread.
Yeah, sausage and bread. Well, it's a bun, but yeah.
What did you call it again? It's
called Ting Mo.
Ting Mo.
Yeah, it's basically just like a bun, like a steamed bun, and then there's gyuma, which is like fried sausages. I don't even know. It's really good though. If you ever come to Berkeley, there's a place called Tibet something right here on Solano. It's really good.
You gotta take me there. I need to see what this is all about.
It's really good.
Oh,
While I was in Japan, I mean, Japan is the best food in the world. I was like, one of the things I was like, man, I can't wait to go back to America so I can have some more Ting Mo.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I want to say New Orleans. New Orleans, is able to hold their own. Just saying. Just gonna put that down there.
Yeah.
Just gonna put that down there. But I gotta definitely check out whenever I come see the beautiful city of San Francisco. I gotta check that out, and you gotta show me what that place is. It sounds delicious, and I need food in my stomach every minute of my life. So, speaking of every food in my life, we need to figure out what your subclass is, which is you could be an arcane trickster, an assassin, or a thief.
Assassin sounds a little too morbid. Yes. Let's go with a thief.
A thief, a good old thief. And why are they a thief? Why are they a rogue thief?
Well, I mean, they're lizard folks, so they can definitely I think that they have the natural they're a little slippery and a little good at kind of getting into tight spaces. I think that there's just they have a natural affinity for thievery.
I guess so, but I mean, okay, think of this, Matt. You're in a crowd. You see a 7-foot-tall reptilian humanoid in a sort of rogue, stereotypical cloak, grabbing that wallet of yours. Are you going to not notice that?
You're right. That's certainly not. He definitely stands out.
So maybe he's does bigger heists, like Ocean's 11 heists, stuff that doesn't require to be less ambiguous.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't thinking pickpocketing. I was thinking more breaking and entering kind of stuff.
Sure.
Or heists. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't see him more as a petty thief. I see it more of a just a kind of again, not this grand lawful good, or even chaotic good or whatever. I see it more of just kind of he wants to do good in the world, but he also especially if it's a bad person who has good stuff, and he's determined that that's a bad person.
Classic case of Robin Hood.
Well, he's not necessarily giving it back to the people, but he's also not he's not going out and stealing from the poor.
Yeah.
He's stealing from the people who kind of deserve it.
All right, that's fair. That's legitimate. Now, are they physically strong?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they dexterous?
I would say moderately. I mean, they're tall and they're muscular to an extent.
Get around. They could definitely get around.
I would say they're dexterous. I would say they're above average, but not they're not doing backflips and shit.
All right, that's fair. Because probably if they just sort of lean back to do a backflip, they're already on the ground with the other half of their body. Very tall. Do they have good stamina?
Yeah, I'd say it's all right.
Very dexterous. So are they intelligent?
Yeah, I'd say above average.
Ooh, such a scholar.
No, I would just say they're not a dummy. But I wouldn't. If we're going by the D&D 0 to 18 kind of scale, I would say that in intelligence probably a 10 or 11. And same with dexterity, maybe a 12 or 13.
Sure. And are they wise?
Maybe less so than intelligent. They're younger. They're a thief, so they're probably not that wise. So maybe a 7 or 8.
But are they charismatic?
Yeah, I'd say I'd say so. I'd say they're still a lizard man. They're still kind of this big oaf in a way. But I'd say that despite their physical outward appearance and their race, I'd say that they're still pretty charismatic. I'd say 13, 14 there.
That's fair. Now, proficiency in skills, which means if you have to roll for this action, you have to roll a skill check, and if you are proficient in it, then you're more likely to succeed in it. Right now, because of the background of your character, you are very proficient in being deceptive and very stealthy. You have 6 others you could be proficient in. You can be proficient in acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, insight, intimidation, investigation, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, or survival.
Let's go with investigation, and let's go with perception.
Yes.
What else? What else we got again?
Back from the top, we got acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, insight, intimidation, nature, performance, persuasion, and sleight of hand. Or survival.
Let's go performance. Maybe I think survival's good. I'd say that a lizard folk would probably understand survival.
They would. They would know the best trees to sunbathe in.
And then I get one more.
You get 2 more.
Wow.
You are a pretty all around. You're like the Swiss Army knives of lizards.
Yeah. Let's go with. And I already said perception, right?
Yes.
How about let's do insight and sleight of hand.
Ooh, all right. So they're proficient in pickpocketing, even though they don't need to pickpocket.
Right.
All right, cool. I like that. You know, just always have that back of the hand, just in case. Now the question is, we have reached every single possible question in the whole wide world, but there's only one question left, which is, what is your name?
Whew. I don't know. Is there?
It's the biggie.
That's a big one.
It's biggie small.
That's biggie. It's biggie. It's not small. It's a biggie.
It's biggie.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna type in lizard names.
It's brought to you by Petco.
Yeah. Let's see here. A to Z names for pet lizards. Oh.
All right.
How about Jub? No, from The Simpsons. No, how about Jakari?
Jakari.
Yeah.
Jakr. Is Kari?
Jakari.
Okay, last name? Or title?
Just Jakari.
Jakari.
Just one word. There's no last name.
No last name, no title?
No, just, when you're born, that's the name, Jakari.
Fair enough. When life gives you Jakari, that's it.
Yeah, it's like he's like a wrestler. It's just like it's one name.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jakari has been made the tallest lizard folk in the world. And speaking of tall lizard folks, Matt Conn, where can people find you on social medias?
Well, you can find me at MattConn at Matt Conn on Twitter. You can also follow Midboss, our company, at We Are Midboss. Or you can also follow our game, Read Only Memories, at ROM2064. You can follow GamerX at GamerX. And it's usually the same stuff on YouTube, Facebook. So, yeah.
And, get read-only memories on whatever thing is possible. And with soon PS Vita and Xbox One on the way.
Yeah. So if you haven't dropped in on the game yet, it's a good adventure. It's $20 or less. It's on PS4 and Steam, Xbox soon be on other stuff. But if you have played the game and you're looking for more stuff, we got a vinyl that you can buy right now on I Am 8-Bit. You can get the Turing plush, which you can see behind me. That's on sale on Sanchi.
Nobody can, just FYI.
Oh, well, you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
And yeah, we have some really cool merch on Sanchi. We got the vinyl, and we're about to announce soon a physical edition of the game. So lots of cool stuff coming up. So if you like the game, there's more stuff to come, and if you buy it, then we can make more stuff. So it's
an amazing game, and I will do this little plug for myself. If you want to see a little bit more, like an early like a little walkthrough of the game, like a first parter or just the first couple of parts, so there's no spoilers, check out this great YouTube channel called Cacophony of Games. They did a few parts of their show I Bought What of Read Only Memories, and you could hear them having a total blast and a good time with the game, and they're absolutely beautiful folks. So definitely check that out if you're a little uncertain. But why would you be uncertain? It's a great game. Go get it. And if you like this kind of stuff, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. If you do, we don't want to force you, but we do appreciate your support if you do. And please go check out our sponsors as always: Dark Silver Forge, Gameplayware, and Cognitive Merchant. Thank you all so much for supporting. And speaking of supporting, Matt Conn, thank you. And it was such an honor and such a pleasure and such a joy to talk about everything from the world of Japan to now. And it was such an honor having you on the show.
Yeah, no. So what's next for Jakari?
What's next for Jakari? Oh,
yeah.
Well, my friend, you get to come back for the season finale with all the other guests that we've had on this season, and you get to fight to the death for a prize.
A prize?
A prize! A prize, which is their character portrait on a T-shirt, which is it's beautiful. And,
wow.
Yeah, it's smack dab right on there, printed, ba-boom, ching, your size.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm excited.
I'm excited too, and Jakari is more than welcome to come on Word the Dice Ball, where he can play a proper game of Dungeons & Dragons with all our good friends from the previous shows.
Wow, I'm excited. No, I'm pumped up to play.
I'm pumped up that you want to play it because I want to play. So let's play soon, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye. It's the goodbye song, everybody.
Wow, that's a beautiful
dance. Thank you. Swirl 'em arms all here, and now we're gonna do this thing. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.